So Michael Mauro, myself, Mark Raycroft, and Shawn James are out this morning looking for moose in the North Country here in Alaska. It's a sunny, hot day now. When we started this morning, you could smell forest fire smoke. It was a bit of a haze, which was awesome for diffusing the light. Took a little longer to spot moose this morning, but we did find Michael's eagle eye spotted a beautiful bull bedded about a mile away. And we hiked into that bull, and after we were there for about 20 minutes, it got up and started browsing around, and we were able to get some footage of that. And that was your first experience with a bull moose on this trip?
Yeah, it was.
Good footage on that one?
Awesome footage on that one. I was just excited to see the cows when we first got here.
Sure. Right, there were 3 cows.
Something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the bulls were awesome. That first one was beauty. Got a little close.
It's fun to glass the country and just
It is.
eventually see them popping out. And
I think that's one of the biggest differences, I would say, between Ontario, where we're from, and here is spotting game. I mean, that's so awesome. You get to see stuff.
Right.
You can walk through for days, literally days, in Ontario through the bush, and if there's no opening, you don't see the animals.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's a good point. That's probably one of the things I love most about being in the far north is you actually see stuff, and even if you can't get to it, to be able to see a moose or a caribou or a grizzly like we had the other day, you're right, we wouldn't see it in the hardwood forests back home.
But another thing about this terrain, though, I want to know what, again, I'm not used to. I've been to the Boreal a couple of times, Newfoundland and northern Ontario, but it looks like grass from a distance. You think there's an animal, I'll just run up to that, I'll be there in 15 minutes. So 3 hours later, you're going through stuff that you thought was a foot high, and it's actually 5 feet high. Boggy, wet. I thought I was going across like hard ground down there. I ended up putting my legs down into some bog. So, but other than that, I mean, that's part of the fun too. But that's awesome to see them like that.
Yeah, you were joking this morning. I at the house hopped out with shorts on, and we're going to wear shorts today. But after about 20 minutes walking through these meadows, might as well have had shorts on. The amount of dew.
Yeah.
So that bull fed past us and went on, and we were hiking back up the ridge, and we spotted another bull who went down to the river. And nice fireweed situation.
I didn't
nice
realize
color.
they ate fireweed, actually. That seemed to be munching down on that for the most part, I would say.
Yeah, I didn't until this trip either. And they seem to, in the meadow, they're just targeting it. Totally. So we were joking on a vlog a day or two ago about how they were taking the color out of the scene, so you have to get it quickly as they go across the meadow. Just snap, snap, snap,
And
snap,
there's
snap.
this many moose. It's a reality.
Right?
How many did we see today? There's 3 cows, 3 bulls, was it? 4
bulls.
4 bulls.
4 bulls today.
Yeah.
No
That's
calves. We glassed some Dall sheep on a far ridge. That's always cool to see. But the smoke has gone, and it is a hot day in July here now, so we're going to head back into town. So what would have been your favorite opportunity this morning with the was you were on 3 different bulls over a few hours?
Well, when I rode the first one. Actually, I rode the last one, but
you made the 8 seconds, so high five. Yeah. So this morning I was shooting stills, and there were so many situations I wish I was also shooting video, but as we talked about earlier yesterday, it's a real juggling act to do both. And when the second bull that we had was working through the fireweed by the river, it was so beautiful, the color and the situation. And so the photos I look forward to seeing. We were on the edge of harsh light. Hopefully you can work with that a little bit. It was bright, but good strong light. But I wish I was able to do both. And I think if I caught you correctly out of the corner of my eye, you were juggling both. You were doing videos and still. And how do you find that? Is that a super big challenge? I mean, it's an opportunity. You're here, and you never know when you're going to be in proximity to an incredible animal like these bull moose again. Maybe tomorrow we have a couple more days left here. Maybe it happens again. Maybe it doesn't. So you're trying to make the most of it on your first morning here.
Right. So one of this is somewhat new to me, that shooting with this 1DX. I've had it for over a year, maybe a year and a half. I've had it specifically for situations where I was out shooting B-roll, not wildlife. My 6D Mark II, when I switch it between camera and video, it retains the setting for video. For example, if I had it on 50 frames per second at 24 frames per second, I had it at 50 shutter speed. It would retain that when I went over to still photos, even if I had it like 1250 to shoot wildlife. The 1DX, whatever you put the settings to, it retains that setting when you flip it over to the opposite. So I found myself yesterday shooting bears, and I was at what was I shooting, 125 frames per second slow-mo. So I had my shutter speed at 250. Well, I flipped it over to camera. I was forgetting I was at 250, and I was snapping, and I'm getting blurry images. So the one camera is better for that situation where I'm switching back and forth. So today what I ended up doing finally, just pulling out my 6D as well, having that on my shoulder, snapping photos with that, and leaving my 1DX on video. And it worked.
Yeah. And in each situation, do you think you were able to capture good video that you'll be happy with as well as stills?
Because the moose were content to stop in places, I was able to pan, and then when I saw they were stopping in a particularly good spot that they were eating, I'd leave it running, the film, and I'd grab my camera and get some snapshots. Now, I'm not trying to use the audio from here. I tend to, I don't know what I'll use the footage, but when I'm shooting in slow-mo, it's not capturing audio anyway.
Right.
So the shutter speed is not interfering.
Yeah,
the clicking of the shutter, yeah,
right,
interfering with the audio.
Unless I happen to have come over and stood beside you.
Yeah, and you kept following me. I tried to get in the optimal spot, and you'd be right on my tail.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm learning a lot from these guys. I'm glad to get out here and well, to be guided to these incredible places. First of all, I have to really, really thank you guys over and over again, because the opportunity is just incredible.
Well, we enjoy sharing it with you and can certainly see how much fun you're having. Was this perhaps the most fun you've had with moose on any given morning?
Oh, not even close.
Ever?
Yeah, ever.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
So we're going to head back into town, and I'm going to go look at some new pants because I tore mine yesterday. And no, we're not going to.
Keep it going. Let it roll. We're going to go pants shopping.
We're going to head back into town. The light is harsh, and with these long days in Alaska, we've got quite a few hours in between now and this evening. We'll head back out this evening for some more fun and see what we'll find.
The days are so long, you need 2 sets of clothing per day, because you're basically getting 2 full days of shooting it.
That's right. Well, especially in the morning with the dew and everything gets soaked.
Well, and the sweating.
Sweating.
You could go change and dry up.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Warm day. I fill up this Nalgene, and it's gone halfway through the morning. But it's worth it. You know, when we get on an animal like a moose, time stands still for me, and it doesn't matter how far we end up hiking and how long we spend with it. Just doesn't matter. But hiking back up the ridge, coming out after,
it's tiring.
Seems a lot more of a slow motion experience.
And I need a beacon on me or a radio, because I get off on a moose and I'm gone and turn around, nobody's behind me. Here I go again.
Well, we had 2 radios this morning. We're living and learning, so maybe we'll have 3 with us this afternoon.
They make me wear bright clothing now.
Oh, it was a great morning.
Yeah.
Lots of fun. All right, I'm gonna get a sunburn. Let's head back.
Great.